So we can continue with this thinking and thinking of divide as a ratio of comparison. So when we think of 1/6 divided by 2/3, we can just do 1/6 divided by 2/3, and we can think of this as a ratio of comparison of numerator to denominator. And having a visual really helps because it allows us to see the proportions or the ratio of comparison much easier. So in red I have my 1/6 fraction here, and in the blue I have my 1/2 fraction, and I'm going to compare my 1/6 fraction to 2/3 fraction as a ratio. So when we do that, we can see that the 1/6 is 1/4 of the 2/3 fraction. So it's a 1-to-4 comparison. So when I divide 1/6 divided by 2/3, or 1/6 in the numerator and 2/3 in the denominator, the answer is going to be a 1-to-4 ratio, or 1/4. So we can say that 1/6 divided by 2/3 is equal to 1/4. And you can see that the 1/6 represents the numerator, divide by 2/3, which is in the denominator. So I have a 1-to-4 comparison. And I can see clearly in my picture, my visual, I have one part that represents 1/6, and I have 4 parts that represents 2/3. So we can then do this visually by drawing out these fractions. So 1/8 divided by 1/2 is equal to 1/8 over 1/2 fraction. And I can draw this ratio of comparison. So I draw my 1/8 fraction. So I have one piece there, and I have my 1/2 fraction here. So I'm just going to draw this a little bit nicer than this. Okay, so I have my 1/2, my 1/8 fraction, my 1/2 fraction. To be able to see this comparison, it is nice to have the same size pieces. So I have one piece in my numerator, or one part in my numerator that represents my 1/8 piece, and then I have 4 parts in my denominator that represents my 1/2 piece. So 1/8 divided by 1/2, and I can see very clearly, okay, my eyes don't lie, my 1/8 compared to 1/2 fraction is a 1-to-4 comparison. So 1/8 divided by 1/2 is 1/4. So same thing here. I can divide 1/6 divided by 2/3, so I can then express this as a ratio of comparison in a fraction. I'm going to draw my 1/6 piece in here. There's my 1/6 piece. I can draw my 2/3 piece. Okay, and again, to make this a little bit easier to compare, I can slice this into the same size pieces. And as I look at the ratio of comparison of the areas, I have 1 part area in the numerator, 4 parts area in the denominator. So 1/6 divided by 2/3, we can see that it's 1-to-4 comparison, and our eyes don't lie. Okay, this is 1/4, must be the right answer because we have a 1-to-4 comparison. So 1/4 divided by 1/3, we have my 1/4 fraction here, and I have a 1/3 fraction here. It looks like this 1/4 is slightly smaller than the 1/3. Now it's kind of hard to tell, but it looks to me maybe like a 3 parts to 4 parts, or 3/4 comparison. So to make this comparison a little bit easier, we can make the slices the same. So we can see that if I make it into 12ths, I really end up with 3/12 fraction. And I can do this into 12ths as well, so I have the same size pieces. And when I have the same size pieces, I have 4/12. So when I do my ratio of comparison, I have 3 parts to 4 parts that make up the denominator. So then 1/4 divided by 1/3 must be 3 over 4. Okay, so that answer for this, and again, this is very reliable because our eyes don't lie. We have 1/4 to 1/3 comparison is a 3 parts to 4 parts comparison, so the answer must be 3 over 4.